Hello, coaches. Hello, Nolan. Thanks for joining me after a fairly tough loss back at Hyde Stadium. We haven't gotten to talk in a while, so maybe a little bit of a catch-up session. May have to correct me here, Tyler. When's the last time we talked to the coaches in an interview? We had the whole 3-month series and the Sioux Falls series away, right?
June 9th.
So both those series?
Yeah, it's been 8 days.
Okay, so maybe before we talk about tonight, we could talk about those series a little bit if you can recollect as much as you can. Obviously, it's kind of, you want to throw that under the rug and move on, but if you could speak to those a little bit, that would be helpful for us.
Speaking of the Fremont series, that was a good team. They battled. They hit the ball well. It's tough to say. Every game is Groundhog Day right now. It's we start off well, we get in trouble in the middle, and finish it up. But no, nothing against Fremont. They hit the ball well, and we didn't at times. But we'll come around.
How was it going back to Sioux Falls? I guess that would be your second time. How was it playing in that series there? Which seemed to me kind of like the same, or I guess what you were saying, Groundhog Day again. Mm-hmm. How do we bury that, or how did you try to bury that from the Fremont series going to the Sioux Falls series?
Had a couple meetings, just talked to the guys about different things that we expect out of them. Like you said, it's just a groundhog. Things are starting to snowpile a little bit, but that's when you just got to take a step back in life, and just remember what things matter, and then just do your best.
Yeah, I mean, it was, as a fan and now as someone that really supports the Trappers, it's tough watching some of these games, but we still had an attendance of over 400 people tonight after a tough couple of rough series. So, I mean, fans still love you guys, so don't take it too tough.
It's great. I mean, we appreciate the fans coming out. It was a huge audience tonight, and it was great. And we were fired up and ready to go. And then, we just have this thing that hits us, and we stop, or we don't want to go forward.
Sure.
So it's tough being up. In that Sioux Falls series, we were up 6 runs in the 7th inning, and to lose a game like that, it hurts. And I don't know if we've rebounded from that or not yet, but I'm waiting for the day that we do.
Sure. We have one game here. We have another game against Sioux Falls tomorrow. Same team, same time. How do we get out of this slump? What are we going to do? We've done meetings. We've done some different things. Do you have an ace up your sleeve? What is the strategy to really get over the hump?
We got a couple different strategies. Not going to put all of them
Of
out in
course,
public, but we do have a couple different strategies. Things may look a little different the next couple games, but we're trying our best behind the scenes to try to put the best product on the field for the fans. So we do have a couple things, but it'll be pretty interesting the next couple games also.
Yeah, and I think that's really what people will most want to hear, is that you have a plan. And I trust you guys. Everyone trusts you guys. So it's good to hear that, though. Two cats.
Yeah, so I've built my reputation on tough questions, and tonight's going to be no different.
Great.
Fremont, 43 strikeouts in 3 games. Tonight we had our season high in strikeouts in 17. What started in Fremont that has since broken in that we cannot put wood on the ball?
That's a good question. I don't know. You know what? Actually, after last night, I thought we kind of got out of the slump. We manufactured runs. We hit the ball. We came ahead, and then the avalanche effect took ahead. And I don't know what we got to do to get out of this little snowball, but that's a good question. I don't know how we K'd that many times tonight. That's embarrassing.
Mark, do you have anything? I'll probably come back with something else.
Well, when you look at the team, my questions always come in with kind of like team morale and that kind of thing. So what's kind of the team morale right now? What's everybody feeling out of the dugout? What's going on? What's the interactions? Is everyone okay? Is everyone going on? That kind of thing. We're just trying to get a gauge of what's kind of happening in there, because it seems like they're all getting along and everything's good there, but there still seems to be some sort of issue that people are having where it's just coming up or whatever's going on. So can you speak a little bit onto that? And Nolan, I think you can speak a little too on that, because you kind of get the interaction with them as well.
Yeah, from what I've seen, the guys are good with each other. They're kind of getting this close-knit bond, which is good. But I think a lot of times what I've seen is internal frustrations from guys. So getting in their head, I know a couple times, there's verbal frustrations, or you can see it in the dugout. They're frustrated with themselves because they want to succeed, and these guys, nobody's going to be harder on themselves on what their play than themselves. So I think a lot of times it's that's getting to them more than anything, where it gets to a point where even their teammates are like, you just need to move on. But they're a close group of guys, and I think that if they really put their mind to it, I know they said some words tonight after the game to each other. I think they'll find ways. They'll find ways, and whether that starts with players meeting or whatever. But it'll be interesting to see how this group kind of works things out, because they're capable of it. There's no doubt that they're able to.
Lots of potential.
Yeah.
We have guys that want to compete,
Yeah.
and that's the number one thing is they want to compete. They want to get better. They get down on themselves, which obviously brings the team morale down a little bit. But as a team, it's a really close-knit group of guys. They get along really well.
After a lot of tough and depressing questions, a bright spot of the night was both Noah Borwich coming out pitching a great first inning. Of course, he had a hiccup in that second inning, but then Caden Cardoso in the ninth coming in and pretty much almost shutting the Sunfish down in that ninth inning. In terms of pitching, what are you seeing from players in progression, including Caden Cardoso, who didn't started the season as a pitcher, took a long break, and now he seems to be back in that role?
You know what? He's one of those guys we can go to throw strikes. And if you've been watching the Trappers the last few weeks, that's what we need. He throws strikes. He got a ground ball double play. He didn't put a guy on. He didn't have to. He got ahead in the counts, which was huge. And in that middle part of the game, sometimes for us, it's becoming a struggle to throw strikes.
Did have one question for you guys. Can you speak a little bit about Skelton and his injury? Do you know any updates on that? I know we're kind of giving him a little bit of a rest, but I don't have a ton of clarification. Can we expect him back out in the field anytime soon?
Yeah, you will. We're taking it day by day
Cool.
right now. Just rehabbing kind of off-site, and then he gets here, he does his work as well. But as far as he can go, that's where we're going with him, but just keeping a close eye on him as well.
Do you have one more question, and Tyler, if you want to have any other follow-ups? It seems like they were very aggressive on the base paths almost every single inning, especially whenever they were up, when it felt like they could probably just use their bats to get around. How are we going to alleviate some of that pressure? Because it did seem like they were just running on us constantly.
Definitely as a pitching staff, you have to get down to the roots of things, and we got to hold runners better. You always have to keep the double play in order, and that's the main thing I've been still since I've been here. You have to, and so I think just letting guys run, we got to be quicker to the plate. We got to throw more strikes, get in pitchers' counts. I thought Fisher did that tonight for us. He gave us a great chance to win, but we got to start following that up with more strikes. Got to have at least a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, and I think right now we're actually opposite of that. And so just throw more strikes.
Yeah, on that topic, we've been talking about it all season in control and a lot of walks. And actually, Nolan, you could answer this as well. Being in a Power 5 program, being close to pitching as a bullpen catcher, what are you seeing in this team that can maybe change in the future to start throwing strikes?
Well, I mean, coming from a school ball team where we didn't throw a lot of strikes, I think it's not so much you can't focus on what you can't do, but what you can. And I think a lot of guys overthink when they're pitching. Pitching is very much you need to go out there and forget about everything that is going on and focus on hey, make one pitch. You got to trust your defense first and foremost. I like to say that if without a defense, a pitcher is going to be nothing. So if you go out there and you trust your defense, not only are you going to be able to pitch to contact more, and I think that's a problem with kids in college, kids particularly. They see big league guys, they see lots high strikeouts. That's what is on social media, but guys that pitch to contact traditionally have longer careers. They're more successful over the long run when you're able to trust your defense, lower your pitch count, and work longer into games. You're just more consistent, especially as starters. Be okay giving up a couple runs. We ask of our guys, just give us a shot. Every day, Coach May is talking about, starters just give us a chance to win the game. And as you've seen over the past few days, like, our starters have consistently given us that opportunity, where it's our bullpen, hey, you got to just trust your defense. Let our defense make plays, because when they're more involved, that translates directly to offense. You can't just have guys standing out there, and I think that's might be part of our problem with our offense is they're standing out on the field for too long. I remember one inning, I think we were on the field for 35 minutes in Fremont. Just get us in, get us out, keep the guys moving more than anything.
And do you think those new guys and new pitchers coming in, do you think that's one of the reasons why they don't trust their defenses? Because they haven't obviously meshed with them as much as the other people. So I know I have a lot of pitchers coming in, so the guys who put on the mound, whether it be Fisher, one of the new guys that came in last week, does that have anything to do with it as well? Maybe pushing them not to trust their defense anymore?
I wouldn't say necessarily trust. I'd say more of a confidence issue. I think that's part of the biggest problem in our staff. We just don't have the confidence to go out there and just say, hey, here's my best stuff. You do what you do with it. That we got to have that mindset if we want to get what we want to get as a great team. And I think we got to start developing that a little more. Just have guys come out of the pen ready. We always say first strike, not first pitch at 7:05. We really have to live by that mindset. You come out of the pen, hey, strike one. Just get ahead, stay ahead, and the game will be much easier.
Coaches, any other final words? Anyone watching live stream? Maybe to the fans? Anything that y'all want to say?
I was going to say thank you to all the fans that came and to all the host family, since it was host family night, and all the sponsors as well. Y'all do a great job. Also, you don't see these guys, but thank you to the interns as well. They do a great job. You always see us, but it's not just us doing the work, so that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Thanks to the fans. It was a great showing. Host families couldn't do without them. You guys couldn't do without you guys. So we appreciate it. We'll turn things around. We'll turn it around. Come on out. Keep watching.
More than confident in that. I appreciate you, coaches.